Hi, this is the Ultimate Frontline Leadership Training Podcast, and I'm your host, Mike Quinn. Now, if you've been watching this podcast for a bit, you'll know that I've been a manager for about 35 years, and I've recently just taken a couple years off to work for some of the largest companies in America to see what it's like to work for these companies as an employee. And recently, I was out with COVID for about 2 weeks. And it got pretty bad for me, but I recovered okay and I returned back to work. But since then, nobody, not one of the managers has asked me how how I was doing, how I was feeling. Not one of them. Several of my teammates have. They've all inquired about how I was doing, but none of the managers have. And I was immediately put on strenuous duties for about half of my shift, even though, recently, like I said, I had a respiratory infection and I didn't have any exercise at all for 2 weeks. So this is a good way to tell your team that you really don't care about them. And they will hear it very clearly. I know I did. And it prompted me to make this video. Now, this is a perfect example of how to make deposits in resentment banks and have people stand around all day counting their money, creating a hostile working environment for everyone. Now, had I been a normal employee, I probably would have moaned and groaned and griped about it to all my friends and stuff. But since I am a manager and I'm doing this as research, I just kind of kept my mouth shut and just kept working. But it really affected me mentally because I know for a fact when I look at these people and they tell me what to do, they don't really care about me. They just want stuff done. And after that, just get the heck out of my face. And that is what I consider now our company culture. So what other things can happen when you abuse your staff? They'll call in sick. They will find ways to protest, like doing as little as possible or purposely not rotating products so they'll spoil. Some may even sabotage equipment. Now, there is no winning when you mistreat your team. Even if they do nothing, the resentment is still there and it will negatively affect your relationship. So what can you do to show your staff that you're on the same team? Well, the number one thing I can think of is treat them the way you would like to be treated. That's right, the golden rule. Treat others as you would like them to treat you. Empathy is the key word here. If someone is out for a while, ask them how they're doing. Find out if they're 100% or not. And if not, get them a teammate or some kind of help through their next couple of shifts so that customers and other team members don't have to pay the price for you ignoring one of your teammates' pain. Sometimes people come back to work before they're 100%. How many times have you come back to work before you were 100% because you didn't want to miss too much work? Well, this is what happens. People come back early. They really, want to work for their team, and then they get slapped in the face by nobody really caring that they're back early. So show your team some support and appreciation, or you'll lose their cooperation and your productivity will decline, as will all their friends who think your insensitivity and barbaric attitude deserves a response. In other words, take care of your team, or they won't take care of you. That's about all I've got today, so we'll see you next week.